And hello, what is up guys? It is your favorite crow here, back again for the second part of our Update 5, the Great Peace Overview for Yonder the Cloudcatcher Chronicles. Now, I know what you're thinking. Where have I been? What took me so long for this second part? And, I can explain. So basically, if you're watching this video, you most likely saw the first part, which was me going around finding all the new foxes in this patch and figuring out what they do and what they produce. I can actually go over that a bit in this episode, but this one's mainly going to be focused on the Kirin. So let me tell you guys about the Kirin. Basically, to unlock this thing, you get the quest, which you get from, I think her name is Georgia, and she will be all the way over here, right where this check mark is. That's where she'll be, basically where the old kingdom is. As soon as you walk in through the, as soon as you cross over the bridge, she'll be right there with the quest ready for you if you don't have it already. And yeah, you can't miss her. That's pretty much it. But once you get the quest, basically what you have to do is get 95% happiness at least in every single region, and that is what took me so long, because basically, well, no, let me show you guys real quick. So I started up here since I wanted to start with the smaller area so that trees and stuff would be easier. So we have the Shivering Plains right here, got that to 95. Then Numino 95, Dapplewood 96, Crestfall Coast 95, Grasslands 95, Sunderwind Wilds 95, Radiant Sands 95. Now the hardest part out of all of these, every single one, the hardest one was Hearthwind Vale down here, because there were two quests that I didn't have finished. One of them was the Scarecrow quest, the Fashionable Scarecrow quest, and the second one was the 55 Cats quest. Now, as you guys can see, I'm done with them. I did them. I did every quest in the game. I took care of them. But what took me so long was that those quests are seasonal. The Scarecrow, basically you come talk to him every season, or every new season, and then he gives you a set pair of clothes that he wants you to gather for him. And then once you get them all for every season, then he gives you the, well, he doesn't give you anything, but you complete the quest. And same for the cats. There are some cats that, number one, are very rare, and number two, only come up seasonally. So there were some cats that I couldn't get until the fall, and some I couldn't get into the winter, and etc, etc. So that's pretty much what I was doing to raise my happiness in areas. Another thing I did was just run around and plant random seeds in these empty plots, since I don't think there's a concrete way to get select seeds that you want, which is kind of sad because this is really triggering my OCD. But anyways, it's not what we're here for. Well, it kind of is, but basically let's talk more about the Kirin. So the Kirin, once you get every area to 95%, then the quest right here will tell you to find a Kirin. So I was just looking around randomly, and I wanted to save it for the video, but I ended up bumping into one right when I got the quest. Like, I was running away and I bumped into one. So my goal for this video is to show you guys the Kirin. I don't want to spoil it for you because these guys look really cool. So let's start our hunt for the Kirin, and I will see you guys once we do that. There he is! Whoa! Oh my god, that caught me off guard. I was not ready for that. Yo, look at him, dude. This is the Kirin. He reminds me of like a Chinese dragon, like Shenron, dude. This guy looks so cool. He's running away from me though, because I don't have what he requires. I believe, now I've been scrolling through the Steam community, and there have been a few people that got the Kirin before me. Not sure exactly how many, but I know it wasn't too many people. It had to be like a minority of the community because not too many people are this far into the game. And by this far, I mean this far. 99% completed. 1 more percent until I'm done with this game. But that last percent is going to be the roughest. He keeps running away. But yeah, while I was also in the Steam community, I found out that the way to tame him, people are saying that it requires a fish that's as colorful as him. And here we are. I just wanted to throw in this quick bit because I'm actually making this a little bit after I made the rest of this video, which would be, you know, me running around finding the Kirin. This is me actually fishing for the fish that it needs to be tamed. Now, the fish that we're looking for is the lucky rainbow fish. And the way you can find this one is basically you want to look for one of these fish silhouettes, a big fat like oval one with a boomerang type slit by its tail. Now, there's 2 like this. There's one that's smaller, which would be these. These are the lucky bronze fish. So you want to try to avoid these. But real quick, I'm gonna cut to where we find the actual rainbow fish, and then I'll tell you more about this fish once we get there. Alright, here we are, and as you can see, if you just go back a little bit, you can easily tell that there's a big difference between the size of this fish and the last 2 fish that we found. This one is the rainbow fish. If you guys are looking for him, if you want to tame the Kirin, this is the rainbow fish. Now, it is much more difficult to catch this fish than to catch the bronze one, even though they look so similar. But yeah, this one has very sporadic movements, and it also takes a lot of, I don't even know what to call it, like wind up time. When you're in that green, you have to be in there for a long time. But this is a fish right here, lucky rainbow fish. This is what we've been looking for. So yeah, when it comes to rarity, I have no idea. I literally have no idea how rare it is, because for a while I was just trying to figure out what the heck it looked like, because I went on the Steam community and people were saying that it looks just like the bronze fish, and I was like, but what does the bronze fish look like? I tried looking it up, didn't find anything, but yeah, I ended up figuring it out myself. And yeah, so there's a bit more of an in-depth tip. I couldn't really find any good, you know, evidence videos showing what the rainbow fish looked like, so hopefully this will be really helpful for you guys if you're trying to find it yourself. But yeah, without any further ado, I'm just gonna cut it right over back to where this video is supposed to be, with us taming the Kirin. So I'll see you guys then. And here we are at my Sunderwind farm. I wanted to bring you guys here because this is where I actually have the Kirin. I caught him, I brought him over here. Right after this, I'm going to show you a few locations where I found him, and those locations seem to be consistent because I've found multiple Kirin in that area. For example, I caught this Kirin, and then I went back over to the area where it was, and I saw there was another Kirin literally right where it spawned. So I think they spawn in specific areas around the map. I'll show a few. I don't know them all, but I know a good amount. I know about 4 or 5, so stay tuned for that. But basically in this video I'm showing you guys a little bit about him. As I said before, you tame him with the rainbow fish, you bring him in here, and then he actually produces dyes, which is pretty cool. This game is doing a really cool job at making a lot of difficult to obtain materials a lot more easier to obtain for, you know, crafting purposes, etc, etc. I also, just look at how big this thing is. Like, dude, it has to be like twice as big as the fennicorn. This is insane. Now what I'm gonna do for the last part of this video is show you guys from my experience where I found these Kirin and where you guys can find them. I believe the spawn is consistent, so you don't have to worry about scrambling throughout the whole map just to look for this guy. You could go to these specific locations and they should be there. Pretty sure they should be there. I've found them there multiple times. I've caught one and another one spawned right after, so yeah. Let me show you where 1 is. Let me think. Okay, so 1 would be right in this area. Let me zoom in a bit if I can. Yeah, right in this area, right where these 3 places meet over on the Crestfall Coast side. That's where you can find 1. Another one you can find, which is actually the one that I tamed, will be right here. It'll be right in this area, actually around where these 3 meet, which is actually a pretty interesting coincidence. Maybe in multiple areas, or yeah, multiple places around the map they spawn where the biomes meet up. But yeah, you can find them over here where these 3 meet up on the Dapplewood Forest side. So actually what I did was I tamed him and then just brought him right around over to my Sunderwind farm. And let's keep moving. Oh, another one is literally right here. Right here. Funny enough, they're so close to each other. I saw one right here, right behind Gold Lake, which actually makes sense now. Because in the last video I was talking about my tweet where there was a new creature spotted around Gold Lake. So that was probably the new creature. The Kirin right behind Gold Lake. Literally right behind Gold Lake. So that's 3 so far, and I know 1 more. I'm trying to think. Oh, it has to be like right here. It was a little while ago when I found it, but yeah, I remember it was over right in this area. Right in that area right there. So there's 4 locations for you guys if you want to look for the Kirin. I'm about 90% sure that you'll find a Kirin there if you have all the requirements, and if you've gotten that quest far enough to where it says find a Kirin. And also make sure you have 95% at least in every biome, because I'm not sure if after you complete the quest, if you, I don't know, chop some trees and you get below 95%, I don't know if that'll prohibit them from spawning. So just be careful for that. Oh wow, this is actually where 4 places meet. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope some of this information was helpful, because a lot of the stuff I talked about in this video I couldn't find online, or at least not as in-depth. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Good luck finding a Kirin. Those guys are pretty dope. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.